All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at Alphabet.
Okay.
As you know, that's Google's parent company.
Right.
And using data from TipRanks and Wikipedia, we're going to be kind of answering that question of,
Yeah.
is this something
Is it worth it?
that you should put in your portfolio?
Yeah. Should you invest in this?
Is it a good fit for you?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I guess the best place to start is with the financials.
Okay. Sounds good.
So TipRanks tells us that GOG just like blew past
Really?
earnings estimates.
Wow.
Net income jumped 34%.
That's huge, especially
Huge.
yeah, in this economy.
Yeah, in this economy, that's a really good sign.
Yeah, for sure. But we got to remember
Yeah.
the tech landscape is so competitive.
Oh, absolutely.
What if like some rival company figures out how to monetize like Google search, you know?
Yeah.
That could change things pretty quickly.
That's a good point. So it's not just about,
Right.
how they're doing right now, but,
Yeah, what about the future?
what's coming down the line.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the challenges?
Right. Yeah.
So what's the overall analyst sentiment?
Well, according to TipRanks,
Okay.
it's a strong buy rating.
Right.
Analysts are predicting a potential 24% upside.
Okay.
However,
Oh,
hedge funds seem to be a little bit more cautious.
interesting.
They actually decreased their positions in GOG last quarter.
Huh. Okay,
Right.
so analysts like it,
Yeah, they're bullish.
but the big money's kind of like,
They're a little hesitant,
yeah. All right, so that's something to consider.
for sure.
Now let's talk about market share.
Okay.
Google search.
Yeah.
I mean, it's practically synonymous with the internet.
Oh, yeah, for most people, that's
Right.
the internet is Google.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that dominance is kind of what's raising some red flags, right?
Well, yeah, Google search has officially been declared a monopoly.
Oh, wow.
And the Department of Justice is investigating, which could lead to, increased cost, regulatory hurdles down the line.
Yeah, antitrust lawsuits, those can be a real drag
Oh, yeah, for sure.
on a company's performance.
Big time.
But, on the plus side,
Yeah.
GOG Cloud, their cloud computing arm,
Right.
that's experiencing phenomenal growth.
Oh, yeah. Fueled by this whole AI boom.
Yeah, exactly. And we're talking like a 35% revenue increase.
That's impressive.
It is really impressive.
Yeah, it really shows that they can diversify
Right.
beyond just that core search business.
Right.
This move into cloud computing and AI could be
Yeah.
like a key driver for them in the future.
Especially as those things become even more,
Or yeah, integral to everything we do.
yeah, part of our lives.
Totally.
So it's kind of like they're hedging their own bets.
Right. Hedging their bet.
Speaking of bets, though,
Yeah.
what gets people really excited about Google is that innovation.
The innovation for sure.
Wikipedia lists over 200 products and services.
It's unbelievable.
It's mind-blowing, from self-driving cars with Waymo to, like, extending the human lifespan with Calico.
It's like science fiction.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And, these other bets,
Yeah.
as they call them,
Mhm.
they're often these long-term,
Right.
high-risk ventures.
Some people call them moonshots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the potential payoff is enormous.
Huge.
Take their ARDA project, for example,
Okay.
using AI to diagnose retinal diseases.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But for the average investor, that level of
Right.
uncertainty,
It can be scary.
it can be a little daunting.
For sure.
So on a less speculative note,
Yeah.
how is GOG approaching ESG? The environmental,
Right.
social, and governance
Mhm.
factors.
Yeah, those are important.
It's worth noting that they are making investments in renewable energy
Okay, that's good.
and working to make their data centers more efficient.
Yeah, that's important.
And that aligns with, the growing focus on ESG among investors.
Right. People want their investments to
Yeah.
reflect their values.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're taking steps in the right direction.
Yeah, seems like it.
But let's bring it back to your portfolio.
Right.
Knowing all of this, where does GOG fit in?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. You
Yeah.
have this company with this
Yeah.
robust core business in Google search,
Right.
but they're facing those potential monopoly concerns.
Right.
And then on top of that, you've got this whole other layer of potential
Yeah.
with these innovative other bets,
Right.
which could fizzle out or become
could.
like the next big thing.
It's almost like a choose your own adventure stock.
I like that.
So for someone who's a little more risk averse,
Yeah,
GOG might not be the best fit right now,
probably not.
but for someone who's comfortable with a little volatility
Okay.
and has maybe a longer investment horizon,
Yeah, if you're thinking long-term,
Yeah.
GOG could be a really compelling option.
Okay.
They're at a crossroads.
Interesting.
Will they be held back by regulation?
Or will they leverage all this AI expertise and innovative spirit to create like a whole new category of products?
That's a great question.
It's gated.
And this is what's so interesting about it is because, like, even with all this uncertainty,
Right.
you can't deny their track record.
No, they've consistently delivered.
They've consistently delivered impressive results. Plus, they had this huge cash reserve.
Oh, yeah.
Which gives them the flexibility to kind of...
Right. Weather any storm.
Yeah, weather the storms and keep investing in those.
And keep innovating.
High risk, high reward ventures.
It's a good position to be in.
It is.
Yeah.
And we can't forget about the sheer scale of their operations.
Global reach.
Yeah, global reach is almost unmatched.
Yeah, it's hard to compete with that.
That kind of market penetration is incredibly valuable in today's world.
Especially today.
So it's almost like having a front row seat.
I like that.
To the future of technology.
But let's be real for a second.
Okay.
There are risks with any investment.
Oh, for sure, with any investment.
So what are the biggest red flags
that
investors should be aware of with GOG?
Well, we've talked about the regulatory scrutiny.
Right.
And that's definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure.
The outcome of those antitrust investigations could have a huge impact.
Huge impact.
On their business model.
And it's not just the Department of Justice.
Votes.
Governments worldwide are kind of looking at them like...
Yeah, everybody is scrutinizing Google.
Yeah, so that's definitely a global issue.
For sure.
So what other risks should we consider?
Well, on top of that, there's the inherent risk of any company that's heavily reliant on innovation.
Right.
Not all of your other bets are going to pan out.
Right.
Some are going to fail.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of the game.
That's the name of the game, right?
Exactly.
It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy.
Yeah, it is.
But those other bets, even the ones that maybe don't become the next Google search,
right,
they could still yield valuable technologies.
Oh, yeah.
Or insight.
Absolutely. Even failures can lead to learning and future innovation.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we can't forget the broader economic context either.
Oh, of course.
A global recession could impact advertising revenue, which is a significant source of income for GOG.
Right. So no company is entirely immune
to
those macroeconomic trends.
Right.
So let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
And consider GOG's overall impact on the world.
Right.
They've undeniably revolutionized how we access information.
It's true.
How we communicate.
Yeah.
Even navigate our surroundings.
Yeah, maps.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
They've made our lives easier in countless ways.
For sure.
But this raises an important question.
Okay.
At what cost?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, their data collection practices have sparked some privacy concerns.
Definitely.
And their algorithms can create those filter bubbles.
Right.
Limiting our exposure to diverse viewpoints.
The echo chamber effect.
The echo chamber, yeah. That's a valid concern.
It is a concern.
And then there are questions about the impact of their platforms on mental health and the spread of misinformation.
Right.
These are complex issues.
Oh, yeah.
That GOG and other tech giants need to address.
For sure.
But let's circle back to the financial side of things.
Okay.
What does GOG's dividend policy look like?
Well, they don't currently pay a dividend.
Okay.
According to TipRanks, the next ex-dividend date is scheduled for December 9th, 2024.
Okay, so for investors looking for that consistent income, GOG might not be the ideal choice.
Maybe not.
They're more of a growth-oriented stock.
Yeah.
What about share buybacks? Are they repurchasing any of their shares?
Unfortunately, our sources don't give us any specific data on that.
Right.
However, share buybacks can be a good sign.
Okay.
They can signal confidence
right.
in a company's future,
yeah.
boost the value of existing shares.
Okay.
So it's definitely something worth researching further.
All right, so that's another piece of the puzzle for potential investors to kind of explore.
Let's dig into.
So I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
We've talked about GOG's impressive financial performance.
Yeah.
Their dominant market position.
For sure.
And that ambitious innovation pipeline.
Lots of potential.
We also talked about the regulatory challenges they face.
Right.
The inherent risks associated with their other bets.
Yeah.
And their broader impact on society.
Yeah, it's a complicated company.
It's a complicated company.
For sure.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener?
Well, GOG is definitely a multifaceted company at a pivotal point in its journey.
Interesting.
It's a potent blend of potential and uncertainty.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a company to watch. So with that in mind, here's a final thought.
Okay.
for you to consider. As you navigate the world of investing,
I'm listening.
given Google's reach into pretty much every corner of our digital lives,
Yeah, it's everywhere.
what if their true strength isn't any single product or service,
Okay.
but the sheer volume of data that they collect?
Wow.
Could that be the key to unlocking even greater innovations and cementing their market dominance in ways that we can't even imagine yet?
That's a really interesting thought.
Yeah, it's something to ponder.
Yeah, for sure, as you make those investment decisions.
Definitely.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of part 1 of our deep dive into Alphabet.
Sounds good.
We'll be back in just a moment with part 2.
Can't wait. So yeah, thinking about these risks,
Yeah,
it's a lot to think about.
it is. It is.
But it's important to remember, with any investment, there's going to be some risk.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nothing's a sure thing.
Exactly.
Especially in the tech world.
Right. Things change so quickly.
Absolutely.
So, we've talked about the regulatory challenges.
Yeah, those are big.
They're significant.
Yeah.
But also, these other bets.
Yeah.
Not all of them are going to be home runs.
Right. Some of them are going to...
Some are going to be strikeouts.
Yeah. And that's okay.
That's part of it.
Yeah. You got to take those swings.
You got to take the swings to hit the home runs.
Exactly. And even those swings that maybe don't connect.
Right.
They can still teach you something.
Absolutely.
They can still lead to some valuable insights.
Yeah. Even failures can lead to future innovation.
Exactly.
You learn from your mistakes.
You learn from your mistakes. That's how you grow.
That's how you grow.
And we can't forget about,
right.
the overall economic picture.
Oh, yeah. The macro environment.
The macro environment.
That plays a huge role.
What if there's a global recession?
Oh, yeah. That could impact advertising revenue.
Which is, a big chunk of their income.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, no company is completely immune.
No, nobody's immune to that.
To those big economic trends.
Right.
So let's kind of zoom out for a second.
Okay.
And think about GOG's overall impact on the world.
All right. Big picture thinking.
Yeah, they've undeniably revolutionized
Oh, yeah.
how we access information.
For sure.
How we communicate.
Absolutely.
How we even navigate our surroundings.
Google Maps.
Yeah, think about it.
Change the game.
They've made our lives easier in so many ways.
Countless ways, yeah.
But it raises this question.
Yeah.
At what cost?
Yeah, that's the question, right?
Their data collection practices.
Yeah.
People have those privacy concerns.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
And the algorithms, they create those filter bubbles.
Yeah, the echo chambers.
The echo chambers.
Which, limit our exposure.
Right. We're only seeing what
different viewpoint.
What the algorithm wants us to see.
Yeah. And that's a valid concern.
It's a big concern.
And then there are the questions about, their platforms and the impact on
mental health,
the spread of misinformation.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
These are complex issues.
They're huge.
That, GOG and other tech giants,
yeah, all of them.
They need to figure out.
They got to address it for sure.
But let's bring it back to the financials for a second.
Back to the numbers.
What does their dividend policy look like?
Well, they don't currently pay a dividend.
Okay.
According to TipRanks. The next ex-dividend date is December 9th, 2024.
Okay, so for investors who are looking for that consistent income,
right,
GOG might not be the best choice.
Yeah, probably not the best bet for them.
They're more that growth-oriented stock?
Yeah.
What about share buybacks?
Okay.
Are they repurchasing any of their shares?
So our sources don't give us any specifics on that.
Okay.
But, share buybacks can be a positive sign.
Okay.
They can signal confidence in the company's future.
Right.
And they can also boost the value of those existing shares. So it's definitely something worth researching further.
Okay, so another piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the good, the bad, the ugly.
We've covered a lot.
I think we've painted a pretty good picture.
Hopefully a balanced picture.
Yeah, of GOG.
Yeah.
What does this all mean for you, our listener?
Right back to the individual investor.
Yeah.
What does this mean for your portfolio?
Yeah, so it's like GOG, they're this company with all this potential.
Tons of potential.
But also a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, there are definitely some risks.
So it's kind of a tough call.
It is. It is.
For investors,
It depends on your risk tolerance.
Yeah, what are you comfortable with?
Exactly.
But, even with all that said,
yeah,
you can't deny their track record.
No, they've been incredibly successful.
Yeah, and they have this huge cash reserve.
Oh, yeah. Tons of cash.
So that gives them a lot of flexibility.
For sure. They can weather the storms.
Yeah, and they can keep investing.
Keep innovating.
In all these new ideas.
Yeah, those other bets.
And their global reach is just,
Unmatched.
it's incredible.
It's hard to compete with that.
It really is.
Yeah.
So it's almost like,
Yeah.
you're getting a front row seat
I like that analogy.
to the future of technology.
Yeah. Who knows what they'll come up with next?
But of course,
Yeah.
we got to be realistic.
Right.
There are those risks.
There are always risks.
Especially with a company like this.
Yeah, with so much going on.
So, investors need to be aware of those.
Definitely do your research.
Do your due diligence.
And, think about those regulatory challenges.
Yeah, those are big.
And the potential impact
Right.
on their business.
And there's other bets.
Right.
Not all of them are going to be winners.
Some will fail, for sure.
But even the failures can teach us something.
Absolutely.
And, we can't forget about
right.
the broader economic picture.
The macro environment.
A global recession could impact
yeah.
advertising revenue.
Which is a big part of their business.
So it's all connected.
Everything's connected.
It's a complex ecosystem.
That's for sure.
But I think,
yeah.
at the end of the day,
yeah.
GOG is a fascinating company.
It really is.
To watch.
Yeah.
They're at this pivotal point.
A crossroads.
And it'll be interesting to see
yeah.
what the future holds.
So for you, the listener, as you're thinking about your portfolio, GOOG is definitely one to consider.
Okay.
But do your research.
Yeah.
Weigh those risks and rewards.
And think about your own personal investment goals.
What are you trying to achieve?
Yeah, exactly.
And remember,
yeah.
past performance is not necessarily indicative
right.
of future results.
No guarantees.
No guarantees.
But it's definitely a company.
Yeah.
Worth keeping an eye on.
Absolutely.
Well, that brings us to the end.
Okay.
Of our deep dive into Alphabet.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.
See you on the next Deep Dive.